Hello, the purpose of this video is to share with you some ideas for how to plan for day one of week one of your FYE course. This is the information I'll be sharing with people at the open planning sessions next week, so if you're not able to attend, you're not missing out because this is what I'm going to share. Okay, so our course agenda is pretty much dictated on the course schedule, right? Here are all the topics that we need to cover within a week. As instructors, it's our job to divide up which topics get discussed in class and which happen outside of class and so on and so forth. So those are our daily planning. And so instructors have various ways of posting their agenda. Sometimes I've posted my agenda the day of class. Sometimes I've posted it before class. Since I've started teaching online primarily, I definitely have made it a habit of announcing the agenda ahead of time. So here's an example of how I post an agenda. And I don't think it matters whether you're teaching in class or online. There's nothing wrong with, and you should think about it, posting your agenda on an announcement. So I'll typically just take a screenshot of one or more weeks and then lay out what we're going to talk about and maybe give some tips and so on and so forth. But while you're in class, you have the opportunity to discuss these things, but you want to post an agenda. So this is an opportunity to think about how you want to format that. And so what I've got here on the left-hand side here is just a general, Word document that you could use and modify if you want. So on day one, week one, we're obviously going to do the course overview. Can't imagine starting any other way. Some ideas to do that would maybe to just briefly discuss the purpose of the course and then watch the roadmap to success or how FYE works. They're going to watch both of those videos again on their own, but it's a great way to lead into the course just to maybe draw some interest. You're probably going to lead into an introduction, and that your icebreaker there could be, this is only a suggestion, but could be to use the module topics to engage. So maybe have your students introduce themselves and maybe which topic looks the most interesting to them. So, for example, you might want to have the roadmap pulled up and let them review the topics and maybe which ones they think they're most interested in or they need the most. Just an idea for an icebreaker. As a quick aside, icebreakers should probably happen on multiple occasions and not just one class. And so I hear lots of awesome ideas that people have for icebreakers. And but I think sometimes, if they don't happen on the first day, there's no harm. Maybe they happen on the second day or the third day. But I think the more icebreakers that we have, the more ready they are to jump in the water. Okay, so that is only a suggestion, though. Okay, back to the agenda. After you've done some introductions, you probably want to jump on the start here. This would be the equivalent of like how we used to pull out the syllabus and read the syllabus, which hopefully we're not going to do, because the Start Here menu is basically an abstract version of the very most important parts of the course. And so in class, I'm probably going to go to the Start Here. And maybe, again, if you haven't already watched this, maybe this is the place that you watch the roadmap to success. Again, while being careful not to read word for word, there are some pretty important points that you might want to pull out of here, and that's completely up to you. Obviously, I think the assignment due dates are the most important thing, maybe the grades. Definitely the attendance policy, because each week includes the 25-point activity, so you definitely want to point that out. We have some cool links in here to a video and some suggestions on how to get off to a hot start. We could cover our assignment objectives, so on and so forth. Again, this is just a word for word, the greeting. Again, I in a previous video suggested you might even use this as your welcome announcement and with some modifications. This is the online version. So here's where your syllabus is located. Again, you can pull it up, and definitely you want to show them how to access that, but please don't read the syllabus to them. That's their job. They'll be answering questions about the syllabus in the course policies quiz, so that's where we want them to do that. Again, just some important items that you can cover, that should cover, but in the end, remind students that it is their job to go back through the Start Here menu and hit Reviewed once they have done that. So what I would not do is suggest that they hit the Reviewed button as a result of you going over this in class. You're just giving the abstract version, and they're going home and doing that in more detail. So that's going to take a lot of time. And so what you're going to want to make sure that you leave with, though, is that understanding that they know how to take that course policies quiz. So if you have to, and again, that's in the FYE orientation, so they'll have to have already reviewed that in order to do that. So they're going to get in the FYE orientation, and they'll take the course policies quiz. So you may want to pull this up and share the video about how to take a test if they have questions or concerns about that. So again, the important part is that you tell them that they need to go to the FYE orientation module next and complete the active learning cycles in the following topics. And here are those topics. So again, I'm doing this in class with them so they know where to go. Here we are in the FYE orientation. And it's good to cover, the synopsis here. Although you might do this on day 2, but definitely you want them to jump in right away to this folder, especially how FYE works, because it'll set you up for day 2. But through each one of these folders, we want them to open this and then check out the information associated with it and then complete the active learning cycle. And we hope that you are in the process of completing the active learning cycle yourself, because then you'll know exactly what your students are doing, and then you can participate and share as well. Okay, so again, you're leading them through the folders, what to do. Again, here's an example, and then you're letting them know that they need to take the course policies quiz. So they won't be able to see any of the other modules until they take the course policies quiz, and so that unlocks the course modules. So by the time you see them next, they should have scored an 80% on their course quiz, or perhaps they have until the midnight of the night of your second class, but ideally they'll have completed this before your second class. Okay, and again, one more time, however you want to post your agenda is up to you, but one of the easiest ways to do that is to send out an announcement, and I like to do that beforehand so that they know what we're going to cover, and there's nothing wrong with posting them after class as well, just as a reminder, this is what we covered and this is what your tasks are for the next class. So feel free to use this template if you want. I'll post it, and you can modify it and cut and paste it into announcements if you will. If you're interested in seeing my announcements in some of my courses, feel free to hit me up, and we'll talk about them. Okay, so that's day 1, week 1.